Some beautiful shots, but I know that the storm is still coming and we're not quite out of the woods quite yet, Paul.
Right. Still bringing some hazards in terms of rainfall to much of the Bay Area, especially in those spots that had the wildfires late last summer and last fall. In the high Sierra, they're talking about 3 to 6 feet of additional snow on top of what we just saw during our 5:30 segment just about 15 minutes ago. Let's focus on the radar around the Bay Area. We'll zoom into the North Bay, and I put the storm report on the map of that debris flow that's been reported along Highway 1. We'll keep a lookout for any additional reports on that. More showers moving farther to the north. These are mostly light showers, but it just takes a little bit when the ground is saturated, especially when that ground is, they call hydrophobic, when it's been affected by those wildfires late last summer. Not a whole lot of shower activity around Central Bay and inland into the East Bay until you get into parts of Alameda County with that next surge of moisture trying to make its way farther and farther to the north. But the heaviest rain continues to fall over Santa Clara County, especially down 101 from San Jose. From Morgan Hill down to Gilroy, it is raining in sheets, and it's still coming down at a good clip right now in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but a little bit of a tapering trend within the past 20 minutes or so within that flash flood warning that's still in effect until the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour, until 6:30. All this rain is just going to come at us in waves as we head through the rest of tonight. So let's show you that on Futurecast. We'll start the clock at 7 o'clock, and we're going to be seeing these off and on waves of mostly light to moderate rain, but occasionally heavier rain, especially the farther south and east you go. That's where you're going to add up even more rainfall over the next 24 to 36 hours. But some of the heavier downpours will occasionally make their way farther to the north, too. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start off with hit or miss showers. It's not going to be raining everywhere. And as we head into early afternoon, the showers look like they're going to be a little fewer and farther between. Keep the umbrella handy, keep the rain jacket handy. There are still going to be showers into tomorrow night. One last little burst of moisture is going to head up our way late tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. But that should be starting to wind down as the sun comes up Friday morning. And after about 7, 8 o'clock Friday, it looks like we're really going to be drying out for the rest of the day. So some of that rain can soak into the ground. There's another chance of showers that's going to be trying to move into the North Bay before the sun comes up on Saturday. A lot of this is going to have a hard time making its way inland, but we're going to leave an outside chance of showers in the forecast over the weekend just to be on the safe side. Adding up the rain for the northern half of the Bay Area, this is just through tomorrow about midday, so that next wave of heavier moisture, about a ½ inch to an inch of total rain accumulation in that time frame, but then a little bit more as we wind the clock forward into the end of this particular atmospheric river. That weekend system is not going to bring nearly the amount of moisture to the Bay Area as what we've seen over the past 24 hours and the next 24 hours. Farther south, just through midday tomorrow, we're talking about higher amounts, so 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1.5 inches. Some spots in the Santa Cruz Mountains picking up 2 inches of rain just in the next 18 hours or so, with another ½ inch adding up through the end of the work week and into the first half of the weekend. The winds are not going to be as gusty as they were last night. That's the good news, but they're still going to be strong enough to maybe knock down a few tree branches here and there. Especially, once again, the farther south and east you go, you're just going to be closer to kind of the heart of this storm system, really where all the energy is going to be released by it. So we're talking about some 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts. Not enough for a wind advisory, but enough that if you drive something higher profile, especially on wet roads, that wind is going to try to move you around a little bit. The winds will start to relax as we head through the day tomorrow. Right now, looking outside, still seeing plenty of clouds, even though it's not raining at this particular vantage point from Salesforce Tower. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s to around 50 degrees, and those numbers will change very little as we head through the rest of the night, with that layer of clouds overhead acting like a blanket to keep us from dropping off too far. With a few cracks in the cloud cover tomorrow, temperatures should manage to warm up maybe a degree or two more than today, up into the middle portion of the 50s by Thursday afternoon. Not much change to temperatures as we head into the weekend, just slightly warmer with a little more sunshine peeking through. But then another round of rain next week. Looks like Monday into Monday night, another ½ inch to an inch of rainfall for the Bay Area, but that's after a mostly dry weekend. Just a few passing showers Saturday and Sunday.